Spring is definitely in the air. These are our tulips. They've been blooming for, oh, maybe almost a week now. Um, Always love seeing these things come up. Wanted to show you guys something. So these were from the previous owner, the group of yellows and reds right here. But you'll see there's one here, kind of a real pale yellow, and then a couple more trying to come up right there. One over there, if you can see it. I don't know how well you can see it. One kind of hitting over there. A couple little red ones right there. And let's see if I can walk over here. There's a patch of them. This is where we had a big silver maple right here where the stump is fall last 2 years ago, I guess. And anyhow, this spot in front here, Cindy had planted some tulips in here. It was kind of just a grass area. Nothing really happened in this space, I guess, from all the years of the tree being over. So we planted some tulips here, and kind of hard to make out here, but there's like an empty space here, and that's not how she planted it. And then you get over here by the roots of this tree, and see there's like this orange one and purple and red one over there next to a little shrub. We did not plant those. There's one there that broke off, didn't plant that there. These two that are kind of in the pocket of the root, didn't plant those there. They were all planted here, and see where this kind of looks like trash, these sticks and stuff. There's a reason those are there, but they don't stay there forever. Anyhow, this whole spot was where the tulips were. So what we figured out was in this space here, I just saw the other day, we have a little ground burrowing animal. I think it was a chipmunk. I don't know that if they live in the ground or not, but there was a hole here and I saw it dart in there. It sure looked like a chipmunk to me. And so the best thing we can figure out is it stole some of these bulbs that Cindy had planted, and it must burrow way underground here, and it relocated them. And I'm gonna go out on a wild limb and assume that's what happened over in this patch, where we have the couple stray random bulbs. I like that. I think that's pretty cool. Nature at work. You know, I like seeing landscaping, but we don't put a lot of time and energy into it because we spend our time on other things. And as far as like keeping these beds perfect and manicured and immaculate looking, it's difficult. We have free range chickens. We put down bark, you know, and they just come in and scratch it all out, and it gets in you can see it here in the lawn. They spray this bark all over the place, so we have to come out and rake it back in. So it's a lot of extra work, unnecessary work. But that being said, I enjoy seeing the flowers and even the little, you know, ground cover plants, all this stuff come back every spring. Over here is a group of, I don't know what they are, but these are going to be real pretty flowering flowers once they come up. One of them back here, I think it's called a stargazer. It gets real tall. Anyhow, I just wanted to show this to you guys. For me, this is a sign of spring, and I'm enjoying seeing these mystery surprise pop-up plants that, you know, nature at work. The animals are helping us landscape. Talk to you guys again real soon. Take care. One of my best favorite parts of the morning. Letting the chickens out. That's Captain Cock-a-doodle-doo. See there in the background? May not show up well. Wild rabbit. Look how green the pastures are getting. Chickens absolutely love this time of year. All kinds of, nobody needs to see that. All kinds of bugs and the green grass, and like when the dandelions come in and all that kind of stuff. I can't remember what they call it, the chlorophyll or something, whatever's in the, you know, the makeup of grass and flowers and plant life. Really makes the eggs turn orange, the yolks. Anyhow, this is just a great time of year. It's gonna be a nice day today. Blue skies. It's a little damp out. We've had some rain. We had some rain yesterday and last night. But overall, everything's looking good out here. The trees are starting to bud. Pastures are definitely getting green. way off in the top there, it's hard to see, but right in front of that little row of cedars, that's the winter sacrifice field. It's coming back really nice. This middle one, we turned the ponies out in that yesterday. It's spots of it are nice and rich and deep. So anyhow, things are looking good here. I would say we're done with winter. We may have one or two occasional cool nights, but for the most part, I think we're out of the clear for any real hard freezes or anything. And here it is, only not even mid-April, or I guess mid-April you could say, but little early. Usually I don't feel this confident till about the end of April, 1st of May, but we'll see. We could still get snow, you never know. Yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. This is what part of our morning ritual, turning the chickens out. We'll wait a few hours and we'll actually turn the goats and horses loose out of their pens. We'll give them a little bit of hay to hold them over till then, but we're getting much closer to the time of year where we can just open up their gates and let them free range all day long. And that's where the maintenance and taking care of the animals here on our little farm gets so easy compared to winter. So we'll have to take hay out. We've already got the hoses out to fill water buckets, so all that gets easier now. You see that Sunshine, the quarter horse over there. She knows she's waiting at her gate. She knows she'll get turned out today. Anyhow, just thought I'd share that with you guys. Hope you have a great day. Remember, it's always a good day on the farm. Bye now. What I love about this time of year, flowers are coming up. Some of these aren't going to show up. Some of these little blue, I don't know what they are, these little blue bell looking things, they actually started coming up a couple weeks ago, so they're kind of dying out now. But these, I guess these are tulips. You have to forgive me, I don't know anything about flowers. I'm not very good at this kind of stuff. I just know they're pretty to look at. And I love this time of year because it's always just like a surprise to what's coming up. So these just came up in the last few days, believe it or not. They started to open yesterday, and then opening today. I'm gonna try and find. Well, it's gonna be hard to see. These little wildflowers here now, they're about dying. They were blue when they first came in. They're just all over in the grass, really pretty. Those are the first things that we see that come up every year. These obviously were planted by the previous owner, but I love the wild ones, the ones that just come up on their own. That's always a surprise. You never know what you're gonna get. And then we've got over here, this was an old maple tree that fell. Storm took it out last year. And so in some of the spots, Cindy planted a bunch of tulips. And for some reason, they're real short, but they're got a couple of them that popped up yesterday. They looked like this one. And then today they're opening, but they're only about 4 inches tall. So if any of you know why they would be short like that, if we planted them wrong or something stunted their growth, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep watching them bloom. That's Holly, one of our little puppies. And that one right there is Moxie. She's a rat terrier, small one. She only weighs about 8 pounds, full grown. And then Holly is a Chiweenie. She's like a Dachshund Chihuahua mix. Has the build more of a Chihuahua, but the colorings of a Dachshund. And she's about 11 pounds, 10 pounds, give or take. Those are our little puppies. Yeah, you guys have a great day. Just wanted to show you the flowers. Talk to you all real soon. Bye now. And good old dandelions. I know most people would consider these a weed, pest-like, especially people with their lawns. They would do all kinds of treatments and whatever to get rid of these. We don't mind them. The chickens love them. The horses actually love them. When they come in thick, they'll come in pretty thick in their pasture, and our horses like to eat the tops of them. I don't know of any harm that they cause to our pastures and stuff. I suppose you wouldn't want 100% dandelion, because it's just basically a broadleaf. But the animals keep them cut down, eaten down enough that they're not getting out of control or anything. So we leave them be. But that's another thing. I like seeing them when they're yellow like this. I just think to me, it's a little wildflower. They're pretty, and I don't have a problem with them. So just another good sign of spring. That's Big Mama over there. She knows it's about time to turn her out. She's trying to get my attention. I keep forgetting, I keep meaning to come out and get a shot of these. These are little wildflowers. They're actually starting to die out now. They looked a lot better just a couple of days ago. They're basically the first life of spring or thawing that we had around here. The funny thing about these this is in my wood pile area. Usually this is all covered and waiting to be split wood, and right there in front of it you can't really see in the mulch and stuff, but that's a tree stump that I cut off flush to the ground. This is where the rotten crabapple tree was that broke in a storm, and then we just had my neighbor just came over and pushed it over for me, and I got it all bucked up and cleaned up. And there's some of the few little scrap pieces still left there, but for the most part it's cleaned up. And then these things popped up. I thought that was pretty interesting. They've never been here before that I'm aware of, at least since we've been piling firewood here, obviously, because it's always been under wood. And so maybe this year, because the ground was, available to the sun and rain and everything, I think maybe the chickens, they've been here scratching at this mulch. This is all just bark and sawdust from cutting wood, splitting wood, whatever. I don't bother raking it up. I just leave it as mulch. It's no problem for me. It's not a hazard or anything. But anyhow, thought that was pretty cool. Like I said, I keep forgetting to come out to get a shot of them. They're kind of dying now, but this whole little plant was just covered. They're all closed up and wilty looking now, but they were open. Real pretty, real neat. Kind of cool to have this in the middle of my wood pile, or what was my wood pile. Just thought I'd share. If anybody knows what those are, like I said, I've never seen them before till we moved here. We're in Northwest Illinois now, so I'm not sure what they are, what they're called. They're just little wildflowers. If anybody knows, let me know. Thank you. Do a quick little chick update. A little dark in there, it's hard to see. I mean, it's really not dark, it's just the camera's picking up that way. Anyhow, they're just over a week old now, doing really, really well. We had to put the lid on the brood box simply because they're starting to jump and hop. They're getting up on top of their feeders and waterers, and so the next thing is out of the brood box. So we keep the lid on. When they're real little, we don't, but now that they're getting bigger, we will. As you can see how they all kind of are pulling their heads up, stretching their necks out. That's just a sign of them growing, posturing, I guess you will, and they're starting to get their wing feathers. They're growing really well. These might have been a few days older than we thought when we got them. They may not have been newborns. They might have already been a couple days old. But tail feathers are popping in, wingtip feathers. So once their feathers get fully in, we'll be able to move them out to the coop. We'll keep them segregated for about a week from the rest of the flock so they can make an adjustment. But because of the temps, we wait till they're fully feathered. Anyhow, that's the update on them. They're all doing really good. Everybody looks real healthy, happy, very noisy normally. They're camera shy. So there's your update on the chicks.
That's Cleo. She's the barn cat, our outside cat, if you will. Does a pretty good job keeping the mice under control out here. Can't say for sure how effective she is, but definitely see her catching and eating lots of little rodents. So it was a good addition. We introduced her out here, just under a year ago, I guess. She's just over a year old. So she's been a pretty good addition. She's sort of friendly. She was found somewhere as a kitten, just alone. No other kittens around. No mother around. Pretty sure it was, she was a feral cat. Probably got left behind by the mother. We raised her up. She never quite seemed like she was gonna make it in the house. She just was a little too wild and climbing everything when she was, a couple months old. So when the weather got nice, we introduced her outside, and she took to it like right away. So anyhow, I've never really introduced her before. She's eaten. We do feed her a little bit of food at least once a day, just to make sure, you know, she's not going to go hungry, obviously. So far, no problems with her bothering the chickens. She kind of stalks them every now and then, like she thinks she's going to do something, but she's never really bothered them. The biggest thing, I think I've mentioned in other videos, that she does do that we dislike is she hunts the wild rabbits that we have. And, you know, not much we can do about that, I guess, other than remove her completely from being outside. I don't want to do that. So I guess it's just part of nature. I don't know. Anyhow, I just thought I'd share. It's hard to catch her on film, except when she's sitting still to eat. So she's Cleo the cat.
Another chicken update. There they are. They're all doing really well. They are just 1 or 2 days shy of being 3 weeks old now. I think, if I'm doing my math right. For sure 2 weeks. No, I think it's 3 weeks. Anyhow, doing really good, and I will be this weekend. Today is just Tuesday, but this weekend when I'm off from work, I'll be building a bigger brood box for them so they're not as crowded. By all rights, this is probably plenty of room, but we like to give them a little more space. It helps keep the food and water cleaner that way too. They're jumping around now because they're so timid for me being out here. But you can see they're getting their feathers in, tail feathers, wing feathers. These little buggers are growing quick. Just thought I'd show you an update there. Healthy, happy little chickens.